sorry about that obscenely long break in the middle there. I had a lot of trouble with people race picking and me having to reload the overlay and not realizing someone else had also race picked. So I need to figure out a way to put race picking in. And yeah, I nuke as well. Nuking's fun. I like ghosts, but I'm not nearly as good as Radley is. So either way, we're going to be going into our second series of today. Just a quick look at how the last series changed the scoreboard. We'll have a look at the team rankings once again. Now, of course, it doesn't mean anything for now because we only have the first game of week 11 played. Sorry, but Ash do hold on to 9th position for now. They go up to 5 wins, 6 losses. They're 24 for 24 in gameplay, so that could be very, very important. As if matches are the same, if the match difference is the same when we get to the playoffs, game difference comes into account, and they currently have a game difference of 0. They are completely on for par, and I do need to play more often Radley, but the cutoff for playoffs is 8th place. So for the top 8 teams are going to go through. The Team 1 are going to go into the first semi-final. Team 2 are going to go into the second semi-final. Team 3 are going to go into the second quarterfinal, and Team 4 are going to go into the first quarterfinal, and then the bottom 4 teams will fight obviously they'll be paired off 2 and 2, and the winners of those will go into the quarterfinals against Team 3 and 4. They'll move up to the semi-finals, and then obviously we'll have the grand finals at the end. But unfortunately, DM, Psystorm and NiCE are completely unable to qualify anymore. They have got no chance. They cannot win enough matches to catch up. But let's have a look at today's matchup. Obviously, we've just seen Ash versus NiCE. That was a fun matchup. We're going to have NaS versus Clan ReV. NaS and Clan ReV, both very strong teams. In Season 1, NaS absolutely killed it. They've won 26 of their series overall, so they won 21 series in Season 1. They are 1-0 against Clan ReV, so they've not played too often. But in round 2, Clan Revolution have come back. They have been much, much stronger. They only won 6 series in Season 1. No, 5 series, sorry. And since then, they've won 4 of them. So they're actually doing a lot better this time. Compared to NaS, obviously they didn't do very well. But ReV have come out with a stronger roster this season. They've been playing their better players a little bit more often. And overall, they're doing very, very well. Looking forward to seeing how they're going to do here. Now, there is some interesting matchups here. I know there's a lot of fan favorite players here. We've got Sugo against Avi in a PvZ. That'll be USA versus Denmark. We're going to have Terra versus Faust. That's going to be Peru versus the USA. We're going to have Eon Zerg versus Medina, which is going to be Belgium versus Norway. And we're going to have Dragon versus CRBT, which is going to be Canada versus Latvia. And Yaj saying fan favorite in air quotes, but seriously, people like Sugo, people like Avi, people like Faust. Medina is a great player. Terra, Eon Zerg and Dragon, some of the best foreigners at the moment as well. And pretty cool. Lucky Noob, if he's around, is going to be very happy because there is a Zerg in every single game. And we don't have a ZVZ. It also looks like it's made Shad very happy as well. So let's have a look at how we're going to get on as we get into game number 1, because we'll introduce the map quickly. It's going to be New Tornado, one of the more standard maps in the pool in terms of PvZ. It's been relatively even. 4 wins for Protoss, 2 wins for Zerg. Not too much to say on that, but we've not really seen this as much. It started week 1 as the ace match, so it's kind of rotated round less. So that's kind of cool. But in terms of our players, starting us off for NaS, we're going to have the one, the only Sugo. Sugo works for thousands of hours a week. He also somehow manages to continue to be a top player. Very, very strong player in the STPL for NaS. 54% win rate for him. 4 wins, 3 losses against Protoss. He's not played against Avi in the STPL before, but overall he's doing pretty well. Rank 59, and as I said before, there's 328 ranks, and Sugo is rank 59, so really, really good. Sugo is a Twitch streamer. He's a really cool Protoss player. He's a really nice guy as well. And I know I make jokes out of the whole working thousands of hours or whatever. But genuinely, he's a really, really nice guy. And I'm super glad that he's in the community because the community is better off with him here. So let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be the very infamous Avilov. Avilov, obviously a pretty nice guy in chat, but does have very strong opinions sometimes about certain people. He's ranked 19 in the STPL overall, 70% win rate, which is ridiculous. And against Protoss, he is currently 7 for 2. Avi is doing an incredible job. He's won 7 of his last 10 games against some very strong opponents along the way as well. One of the games he did lose was against Tai 2, who's in the top 10. So pretty crazy. Avi, definitely a strong player, and he does have one of my quotes. So and Castle saying I said that Avi is toxic in the most polite way possible. Oh, I guess so. But Avi, obviously from Norway, Sugo from the USA. Let's see who's going to win in this battle of NA versus EU. I know Avi would like to say it's EU, but is he going to prove it in this game as we start with game number 1? Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have Sugo fighting for NaS in the blue. Sorry, Denmark. I said Norway again. Oh my goodness. And starting down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the red, fighting from Denmark, it's Avilov fighting for ReV. And yeah, Avi's always in chat. You can't use that Avi doesn't watch when he loses, because I've got stone hard cold evidence that he's been in chat when he's lost. So don't try and take anything from that, guys. I know it's often a funny like meme to say, well, the person's not here, so they're gonna lose. But especially like for Sugo, for instance, like even if Sugo wanted to be here, I doubt he could be, because he should be still at work right now, because it is normal working hours in America. The thing that surprises me most about STPL and about the casts and everything is when you look at the analytics, the crazy thing is most of the viewers are from the US. Oh, Sugo is here apparently. That's kind of cool. I didn't realize he'd be here. Maybe he's watching from work or something. Maybe he works from home. But yeah, essentially, most of the viewers are from the US, which really surprises me, given the fact that for both West Coast and East Coast America, and obviously all the bits in between, the STPL is on a really horrible time. But it just goes to show how big the NA community is in Brood War. Europe, I get a lot of viewers from different places in Europe, of course. When Net Wars play, I get a lot of Polish viewers. Oh yeah, just saying Sugo's off work by now. It's 4:40 on a Friday. Wait, 4:40 on a Friday? People are off work in the US? In the UK, we still work till 5:30. It sucks. I wish I could leave early on a Friday. That'd be amazing. But then, I guess at the end of the day, I guess I benefit from having good, like, workers' rights, and I don't need to worry about being fired for, like, being sick, and I don't have to worry about being sick because I get sick pay. Yeah. In terms of, Dumb Barbillion says, how many Romanian viewers do I get? I'm not actually sure. It doesn't give the actual numbers, it just gives you percentages. And Romania isn't high up, I don't think. You don't get fired for getting sick, but you can do if you're in like a low-level job. Yeah, if you work a shit minimum wage job, as the ad says, but... Yeah, we actually have Sugo going for something crazy. He went for a 12 Nexus, a 12 Forge, going into a gateway behind this, which is really crazy. Essentially, 12 Nexus, a build that shouldn't necessarily work. It's one of TT1's favorite builds to meme on people with. But everyone, even Sale, used to go 12 Nex in PvP, which was also a massive meme. But we've got a gas coming in. We obviously had 12 hatch coming in from Avi. So he's going to have his expansion up. He's going into a third base relatively quickly as well. And it's likely we're going to see Avi go for at least a couple of Hydras here. Could go for a more macro-orientated build. I don't think we're going to see an all-in here from Avi. That's not really his style as much. Obviously, he likes playing against lower-level players on ladder, so playing aggressively often works there. But when you're a little bit higher level, it doesn't matter what you do. You could even go Scout Zealots, and you would still probably win against lower-level players. Yeah, 12 next is incredibly risky. If you don't, or if you come across a Ling build, you essentially die super easily because you have no units. Your gateway isn't going to be able to build in your main because you build the first pylon down at the bottom. But essentially it's kind of like 14cc in the fact that you place the building and you hope that you don't get attacked. I mean, 12 hatchery is kind of like that for Zerg. I mean, it's not exactly like that, I would say, just because 12 hatchery is more standard. But say, for example, Sugo went for a gate first. All of a sudden, you can be under a lot of pressure from gateway units early on. But where Sugo went for a 12 next, there's going to be no attacking coming in for a very long time. The Stargate and the Citadel, though, very, very quick here due to that additional economy from the Stargate, from the 12 next even. The probe does go in, does scout the fact there is a 4th hatchery coming up. I don't know if he's seen the 5th hatch. There isn't actually a 5th hatch coming up yet, so of course he hasn't seen it. But we're going to see Hydra Speed first coming in from Avi. We have 22 drones overall. It's not going to be a 973. Is it going to be an... Oh, it's going to be a 9734. No, there's more than 9 drones here. There's 10, I think. Yeah, there's 10 drones. No, wait. This is 8. I apparently cannot count drones. So it's going to be a fake Hydra bust regardless. But obviously with Sugo seeing the 4th hatchery, he should know things are not going that crazy. Now, the Zealot's going to move out on the middle of the map. And just to keep chat in a better mood, Yad, stop arguing with Castle. Castle, don't fall for his bait. I know it's like very NA StarCraft to like argue all the time, but try not to like mess up chat with your argument. If you want to argue, take it to PM or something. I don't want to ban either of you because there's no point. It just either there was one good thing I learned when I was younger, and it's probably bullshit essentially, but if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, so don't bother arguing with each other. It's really pointless. Okay, so Avi's got a good number of Hydralisks outside the front of Sugo's base. Now, Sugo, because he scouted that 4th hatchery, knows he doesn't need to go for a million cannons. He is going to go for a few, go into a Templar Archives. This is still relatively annoying, because essentially you're kind of under a little bit of pressure. At any point, the Zerg could just spam a ton of Hydras and come and kill you. But that's the way this matchup works. Obviously, the Forge is going to go down, hopefully. I know it's not going to finish +1, so this is definitely very annoying. Sugo going to jump out. He wants his +1 to finish. It's a very important upgrade in PvZ. Now, these Zealots are actually doing a ton. This early speed really coming in handy. And has that delayed the Hydralisk long enough that the Forge is going to finish +1? Oh, it's so close! No, the Forge goes down, and the upgrade doesn't finish. Now, has Sugo already built a second Forge in his main? Is he going for +1 again? No, he isn't. So the upgrades are going to be incredibly late in this series. And that's definitely a problem for Sugo, and a massive advantage here for Avi. Now, Avi is starting to add on some stack defense as well, because he did lose a lot of Hydras at the front there. So a Zealot counterattack, obviously Zealots are very, very fast, could do a ton of damage. If these Zealots can get on top of the Hydras and get on top of the Sunken, this could be a dead base. There's not really that many units to defend. Say that again. There is a ton of Hydralisks coming in from behind to defend against this. Now if Sugo can get some drones, that'd be good, but nice drone drilling from those drones. Going to keep the Sunken alive, going to keep the Hydras alive, and going to keep the drones alive more importantly. And Avi is almost even in workers with Sugo. Crazy work by him, a crazy amount of droning been going on, and even losing a couple there. Not really helping too much. Now the Forge has come up in the main. Storm is done on the High Templar, but he doesn't actually have any at the moment. At least I think the Storm should be done. Has he upgraded Storm? Where's the High Templar? Okay, he's just starting to build his first Templar now. Did this only just finish? That's kind of crazy. And Shai Hulud, this isn't live, it's done from replays, but the STPL is a massive global team league with there's 7 best of 5s played each weekend, and it would be physically impossible for me to cast them all in one day. Now Sugo finally has a Corsair out on the map. This is going to be able to go in and go for some scouting. Storm has only just now started. Sugo definitely getting thrown off a little bit by Avi's early aggression there, taking down his Forge. He didn't die, which is the important thing. They are even in workers, but it's going to be so difficult for Sugo to try and expand. He's lost so many units over the course of this game so far now. Wow, Sugo is actually going to go in for a 2-pronged assault here. He's going to go into the natural and into the main. Or into the third even. There's absolutely nothing defending the... Oh no, that's actually the anti-timing here. The Zealots are going to get into position to block the units from coming back. This is actually a major problem. The drone pull even, look at that. Saving his main ramp even. Looks like the Zealots are going to be able to get into the main. The Zealots at the back stopped a lot of these reinforcements getting through. And Sugo is still in a good spot. He's up in supply still. That is definitely where you want to be. Without +1 though, this is not going to be as powerful. But definitely trading quite well. Super important in this game for Sugo. Sugo still unable to take his third base. He's actually going to add a cannon on here to do it, which is not something you really want to be doing. So that was definitely good Zealot play there. He split his Zealots up perfectly, blocked the reinforcements from coming in to do a little bit more damage. But with +1 upgrade, that definitely would have been a lot better, as Radley just said. Because essentially +1 is such a massive damage breakpoint for Protoss in the early game. We've got more and more Storm coming in, more Zealots coming in. Now the good thing is, Sugo has this high ground pod. It's going to be very difficult for Avi to be able to push up here. Now, I think Avi believes there must be a hidden third because he's running around scouting for additional bases. He's got his own 4th base coming up in the 6 o'clock position. And Avi just said in chat, this is where I dedicate my entire army to scouting the wrong third. Well, we got an additional 2 hatcheries up at the 3rd base now, so that's 3. He's got 2 in the natural, 5. 7 with the lair in the main, and 8 down here at the expansion. Now it looks like the Zealots are going to move out again. They have +1 attack, +1 armor is on the way as well. Oh my god, that Storm is massive, but he does lose the High Templar. And oh my god, Avi with the target fire getting... Oh, he gets one of the High Templar. Does he get another one? Yes, he does. No Storms. But the Zealots are ripping through these Hydralisks so unbelievably quickly. And Sugo maintains his supply lead for now, but Sugo needs to find the 4th base. The 4th base is really the big story in this game. And if Avi can get that 4th base up and keep it alive, that is definitely going to be important. Now, +1 armor is almost done, 2/3 of the way done. No +2 attack on the way just yet. Sugo definitely struggling to afford things, given the fact he doesn't have a 3rd base yet. Now, the one important thing about this map that I'll show in a second when this engagement ends is the natural does have additional minerals compared to the main. So the natural has got like 2,000 mineral patches, I think, rather than 1,500 or something like that, or it's maybe 1,500 instead of 1,000. Now Avi with some fantastic snipes on more High Templar, definitely causing a ton of problems here. Now Godsu, if you want to see the rankings, look up STPL on Liquipedia. But very nice sniping from Avi here. Now, just to show my point from earlier, the mineral fields in the natural have 2,000 minerals, so they take a very long time for all of the races to mine out. This is why it's very important to play in the proper version of this map, and not the IC Cup version, which removed that feature, because it's essentially a very unique feature to this map. So the Hydra's definitely looking very good. Sugo's starting to transition into some Dragoons. He's only got 1/1 attack, but he needs to be able to move up and do some damage. He's going to be able to get into the 3rd base, but the eggs are going to cause such a massive problem for these Zealots, and there's no High Templar here, so there's going to be no Storm. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can keep an eye on more of the battle. The Sunken is going to go down. A good number of drones have gone down. But Avi is in a bit of... Well, I'd say Avi's in trouble, but I mean, Sugo's army is trapped. It's not going to be able to kill these Hydras. It's not going to be able to break out of this base again. And he's not even going to be able to kill the hatcheries. He's just going to be able to trade as efficiently as possible. Avi's got his 4th base up at the other natural. The Observer goes down, so no like, super cool DT is going to be able to come in. And Avi's going to clean up this army. He didn't lose too many drones. He's going to transfer his drones back just as everything dies. Now 3 Zealots are going to move into this 4th base, but there's already 2 Sunkens here. And these Zealots are going to do absolutely nothing. They are going to be able to delay this base for a while. But yeah, where Yaj, as Yaj pointed out, where Avi sniped all of the High Templars before, the Protoss just couldn't do anything. Yeah, TT1's just turned up. Nice to see you, man. You are missing Avi versus Sugo. Matchup of the century for sure. People will be talking about this game for generations, as far as I'm aware. But it's been a pretty exciting game so far. Very back and forth. But Sugo definitely looking like he could be in a little bit of trouble. At least moving forward. Avi should be able to expand and explode quite well here with his economy. Now, a Zealot did try and go in, but there is a Lurker here, which does keep that alive. And if Avi can get the 5th base, that is when things are going to start to get out of hand. Now, of course, Sugo still has a lot of money at his natural, as I mentioned before. These are 2,000 minerals in the naturals, which means the naturals last a lot longer. But it is kind of funny, as Radley points out, where they're both playing tier 1 units for 15 minutes. I mean, Sugo wanted to use High Templar, and I mean, he's got 1 million of them now, but he wasn't able to Storm before without getting all his High Templar snipe. But let's have a look, see if Avi can snipe them again. This is a lot of Storm available, and this is going to be a very, very important engagement. Now, Sugo coming in with more and more reinforcements. Where is he going to plan to attack? Attacking into that 3rd base would be difficult. Going into the 4th base, I think, would definitely be better, but let's see how good the storms are. Can Avi dodge them? Can Sugo make them count? Let's have a look. Sugo, of course, is going to have trouble controlling this mini High Templar, but if he manages to, that'd be good. But wow, Avi actually managed to snipe one. I just realized we went from 7 to 6 in that, and I did hear that. Now let's see where these units are going to go from. Avi saying he's got too many drones in chat. Sugo, oh my god, that top storm. That storm is massive, as well as that one. The storms so far have been very good. One of the High Templar does go down. Another one is going to go down at the front, but another fantastic storm. And Sugo is eating through this army right now. Wait, I clicked on the Observer. I was like, how does he not have any attack upgrades? But he is going to be able to break through at least the first part of this army. He should pull back, wait for some reinforcements, and go for an expansion for sure. But looks like there are some lings down here as well. Let's check. Is there Hive? Yeah, there is Hive. Defiler Mound is going to be coming in if it's not already done. Adrenaline looks to be done on the Zerglings as well. Now, with no Defiler Mound, this is definitely a little bit weird. I'm not really sure what the big plan is of going for the Hive so early, if you're going to go for that. But Avi is definitely ahead in this game. Now let's see how good this engagement goes for Sugo. That is a very, very nice couple of storms. That's exactly what he needs. But it's mostly Dragoons against mostly Hydralisks. And that's definitely when Protoss start to suffer. Although with this many goons, with this few Hydras, Sugo's continuing to push forward, which is insane. Now there is a couple of observers, but they do need to be very careful, as he's not going to be able to break through. Now realistically, he should go for the 4th base. The 4th base is the important place for Avi. If he secures that base, he secures the main, and if he secures the main, he gets a Nidus Canal up, and it makes it incredibly difficult for Sugo to be able to push up there. So I have no idea why he's going for the almost mined out base in the top right, but I feel like Sugo thinks if he clears that base, his 4th is going to be a little bit better to defend even. Now the 4th base is starting to come up crazy. Avi is up to 70 supply in drones, which means he's only got around 50 supply, 60 supply in units, which is just ridiculous. But when you think about the when you think about the Zergling count and the Hydra count and everything, that's actually a lot of units. So 2-2 upgrades for both players, 3-3. Not on the way yet for Sugo. He is holding out. He has got +3 attack on the way now. This is going to be a problem. There is a ton of Hydras, a ton of Lings heading up to his 4th base. Sugo isn't going to be able to defend against this. Looks like Avi wants... Oh my god, Sugo does scout this with the probes that are transferring, but doesn't matter. Is it a little bit too little too late? There is a lot of cannons up here. There's going to be an engagement in the natural where Avi could be getting broken. We've got a base trade going on. There is still minerals. The cannons holding on fairly well, but there's not really much else going on. The High Templar unfortunately missing a prime storm opportunity. But if Avi loses his main, he's going to lose all of his tech, so... This is looking kind of crazy. Both players even on supply. The 4th base going down here for Sugo. He loses a ton of probes. But once again, I mean, Avi has got a ton of drones. He's not got much else. He's got a lot of lurkers down here at the 4th base, but he's going to lose his main. There is High Templars here, but there's only one of them. It doesn't have Storm. The Defiler Mound is going to go down, which is massive. No, he's not going to kill the Defiler Mound. He's going to try and get in the main. He knows if he holds the ramp, it's going to be very difficult for Avi to be able to engage up a ramp. But it looks like the Dragoon's going to hold down at the low ground. The High Templar going to go down as well without being able to storm. And splitting his units definitely not working out here. The Archons definitely needed to be in a better position. And Sugo should 100% lose his army down here, and with this he could actually lose the game. Avi takes the supply lead. Yes, he killed the natural. Yes, he killed the Defiler Mound. But look what else Avi has. He has a fully mining main, a fully mining natural, and even his main has still got units back. I mean, as Yaj pointed out, the hatchery count is just ridiculous. He's got 3, 7, 8. So he's got 9 hatcheries, which isn't too crazy, but having 8 hatches or 9 hatches is insane. Now, is this going to be a... Oh, I thought there was going to be a lurker drop. That would have been crazy. But where is Sugo going to take his 4th base? I mean, Sugo's still alive. As I mentioned, the naturals are very healthy on this map. But Sugo's army is very, very small. And this is problematic. Avi is starting to get out of control. He's got units everywhere. Look at the amount of Lings that are coming in. 1-2 upgrades on the Lings. I mean, this is a lot of Archons, so let's not get it twisted. Archons are very good against mass Lings. But Sugo needs to make sure he fights with all of his units. And the trouble is, because he never went into the 4th base again, he's got no 4th to possibly take. The only 4th he can have is so far away. This was such a clever move for Avi to expand down to the bottom left. That is realistically the base that Sugo wants to take. It's his base to have. And he can't get it. The Archon's doing incredibly well against the Lings, of course, but the Hydra's coming in, starting to clean things up as well. Another High Templar going down without really being able to storm. The lack of storm, the Templar snipes in this game have cost Sugo far too much. GG, Sugo taps out, and Avi takes game number 1. So that was, I've done it again. Wow, I need to change that. Avi played a really well played game there. He did overdrone a little bit, but at the end it didn't matter. He got enough units to get past it. And in the end, he won a fantastic ZVP. Sugo did his best, but unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough. He didn't have any harassment. He had no shuttles. He had no Reavers. He had no High Templar for a lot of the game, even though he got 7 because they kept getting sniped. Avi did a fantastic job blocking those. And overall, just a really well played game by Avi. Avi pretty much for the longest time had nothing but Hydras, and he didn't die to Storm, so there we go. That's certainly something to go down in the history books. Let's have a look at game number 2 when we get back after this short break. See you guys soon. Did you know it was possible to drop behind the naturals in Fighting Spirit? It's a bit finicky to land in the right place. You essentially need to... There's very specific spots in each of the spawns, which I'm going to try and show you here.
Hang on, we're in for some chop. I copy that.
There we go, there's one. So I believe there's actually more spots than this, but essentially it's quite hard to do. So you've got one here. I found two over here. There's also one here as well. You can also drop, I think, in this location. One thing to point out is the ghost cannot actually move. But of course what it does give you the option of doing is it allows you to nuke. Is already at DeWalt's front door. DeWalt has absolutely no idea this is happening. A lot of Ceres units did break through the other power generator, but finally... Oh my god, the Corsair sees it. But is it a little bit too little too late? DeWalt is a man who has incredible micro against Zerg, so let's see if he can hold on here. He's not going to be able to hold the temple at the very least, so... And there's going to be speedlings flooding across the map very, very shortly. Now, Corsair's not going to help. It's going to be a scout coming in. A scout's like the only option he has. The Zealot, for some reason, is moonwalking on top of the Dragoon. Nice probe drill. Actually doing a really, really good job there, but is it just too little too late here? How is DeWalt going to hold on to this? Seri has lost one of his only overlords, though. He's going to lose his other ones. And DeWalt's actually not doing a terrible job. He's holding on. He's not taking any probe damage. He is now supply blocked. So both players are going to be supply blocked here. The cannon is going to come up in the mineral line. The Seri is so unbelievably supply blocked. We're not going to see any additional links coming from him. And DeWalt is holding on. It's 21 probes against 8 drones. The pylon's coming up. He's going to have to repower all his buildings. But there's a cannon here now. The probes are still alive. 20 probes. DeWalt holds. A scout as well. Insult to injury here for this failed attack by Seriosity. DeWalt was perfect micro, holding on. Seri once again trying to build overlords, but they're going down to a Corsair. And even the gateway is going to survive here. And, I mean, DeWalt, this is perfect for IRK. They needed this. They struggled at the beginning of the season. They came back and they have done a fantastic job. GG, Seri taps out. DeWalt takes game number 5 and gives the series win to IRK. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for set number 2 of of ReV versus NaS. Interestingly, Terra is not playing with his NaS ID, so words will be had with that, but essentially, at least he's playing with his Terra ID. The worst thing is when people play with IDs that are not their own. It's so frustrating, but luckily enough, it's not a problem. I had so much trouble trying to cast the Custom Use Season 2 Star League yesterday, because none of the players had their actual, like, in-game name as their actual name. Stork did. No one else did, which was a pain. But, oh well, that's the way things go sometimes. Let's have a look at our next map. It's going to be the first time we'll see it today, but obviously not the first time we've seen it this STPL. We've seen a lot of games here. It's been a little bit one-sided in many matchups, but honestly, the one it's most one-sided in was purely because it seemed like Protoss did not understand how this map worked early on. There was a lot of dropship play that won, but it is going to be a TBZ, 3-1 in favor of Terran, and I don't feel like it's right for me to say this, but I think Terra may win this game and make it 4-1, because Faust is definitely the local FBW hero. He is definitely the fan favorite in air quotes, because not many people outside of the Discord community really knows who Faust is. But I mean, Terra is one of the best, if not the best, current foreign Terran player right now, and it's going to be tough for anyone to go against Terra, and let's prove it. Let's have a look at the player histories. I mean, if we start with Terra, In his last 10 games, he's won 6 of them. The last 2 games he lost to Scan in a TVT, which honestly is not that hard to do. They were both really, really close, really, really fun games. He's got 68% win rate overall. He's ranked 12 in the STPL altogether. And he came 2nd place in the Corrupted Cup 2019, which is just... it's so good. Like, you don't get much better than that in terms of foreign players. Like, Bonnet obviously is a better player overall, but Terra, I think when I first started casting the foreign scene again in like 2017, I think a lot of people said, well, Dandy's better than Terra, and honestly, I think back then he was, but I think at this point, Terra has far surpassed Dandy. Dandy is still a very good player, of course, but Terra is on another level. Like, especially as TBT, the way I would rank the foreign Terrans, I would put Terra, Koga, then Dandy. And the only reason why I put Terra over Koga, A, Terra is a lot more active, and B, Koga cannot beat Terra in a TBT. It's crazy. Terra's TBT is so good. And I know that doesn't mean much given it's the mirror matchup, but his TBC is good. He's 9 for 3 in the STPL. And I mean, I could rant about Terra all day. I love Terra so much. Like, his gameplay is so good. And he's definitely a great Terran player to watch. So let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Faust. Now, Faust, unfortunately, is actually the lowest rank in the STPL. Now, I did say there was over 380 people ranked in the STPL, but a lot of people have the same ELO. So the way it works is obviously it matches people up on ranks. So, like, for example, we have 2 5th places right now. And Faust has the lowest rank of them all. He's got 1,830 ELO. I know I don't mean to like rag on him or anything. It's just all his games he seems to have the worst luck. I mean, he's not played too much recently, so there's not really too much we can gather from his more recent games. He played last week and lost against Michael, but it was a fairly close game if I remember rightly. And Shad, you don't have less, I don't believe. I checked everything today. I was doing all the rankings again today. If you only lost, everyone starts with 2,000 ELO, so you would have only lost about 7 to 20 ELO or something. But an 11% win rate for Faust. He is one of the most memed players of Season 1. Essentially, one of the games he played, which was on Judgment Day, it was the first game I think he ever played in the STPL. He went for... he built an Evo chamber first in ZVZ by accident. Oh my god, I thought I was losing my mind that day. I was like, what the hell is Faust doing? Is this some weird, like, carapace rush? And for the first time I've gushed about the players so long, the video looped. So, just pretend you didn't see that, guys. It's all good. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get in to game number 2. It's Terra versus Faust. Are we going to have an upset here? And if we do, it could be one of the biggest upsets in STPL history as we get in to our game on BlitzX. Okay, starting us off here in the 10 o'clock position in the blue, it's going to be Terra fighting for NaS. From Peru, of course. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand position, we do have the Pink Zerg fighting for ReV from the United States of America. I think Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. It is Faust. But yeah, if you're a fan of underdog stories, you will definitely want to be cheering for Faust here. Terra, one of the best foreign Terran players at the moment. Koga, I think, has better TVZ than Terra does, so I'd put them kind of even. I know I ranked them before, but Terra, definitely a very, very strong player from Peru. He sees a lot of cheesy plays because he lives in Peru and a lot of people cheese him. And even that, because he's so strong, when you watch him play ladder, he meets a lot of like cheesy players on ladder as well. So there's not really too much in terms of aggression that Terra doesn't know how to handle. Faust is a very aggressive player. And I don't want to read out what Abby just said. If you are watching the Twitch VOD, check the chat. I think they're removing chat from Twitch VOD soon, or maybe they're removing the ability to chat in a Twitch VOD. I'm not really sure what's happening there, but that's definitely a weird choice. Now Terra is going for not necessarily a mech build here, but he is going to go for a tech build. Could be a 1-1-1, could be a 2-port Wraith. Terra and Koga both, really, unlike any other foreign Terran, like going 2-port Wraith if they think they're better than someone. And I mean, it's a good choice. 2-port Wraith, if you can out-micro your opponent, you are going to win the game. 2-port Wraith is very hard for Zerg to deal with, depending on what the Zerg does. Now, it looks like Faust is going to go and try and hide a third base, which is definitely not the most standard build, coming off the back of a 9 pool. But he does get the drone out of his base before Terra comes in, so Terra shouldn't have any idea that this proxy hatchery is coming in. And this isn't going to be hidden third, it's going to be a proxy hatchery, so we're likely going to see Faust go to around here on the minimap, put a hatchery down, and then go for a big possible Ling attack. He could have caught... No, it is going to be a Ling attack because he's not had any gas yet, so this is going to be nothing but a mass Ling invasion on Terra's base. Now, if Terra goes for a tech build like he has done, this can actually be very difficult to hold on to. Now, you can see that Terra has got ready with 3 SCVs already on his ramp. He knows that it was a 9 pool. He knows the hatchery wasn't anywhere near done when he got there, and he's going to go back in for another scout. This is a very important moment. He'll see whether or not there's any extractor. Now, he's going to go and scout for third bases as well, or at least hidden hatcheries, because he knows that the gas wasn't built when he was in the base, and that's way too late for a general Zerg build. So hatchery in the bottom left, certainly going to be a little bit of a surprise. Unfortunately, Faust unable to block the SCV from getting into the main. He will see that there's no lair just yet, but of course the gas has only just finished, as Terra should know himself as well, and we know as the overlords of the game. And now the factory's been lifted, so it is going to be it's going to be a vulture, at least to begin with. Not too much of a bad choice. It's good for scouting. It can also be to kill a lot of lings as long as you micro properly. And he did pull off of... No, he didn't pull off of gas, so I do still think this is going to be a starport. I mean, it could just be a normal mech build from this point. He has got his command center, so Armory coming up next will be the big... Obviously, the decision whether or not we see an Armory, whether or not we see a second factory. For some reason, Terra moved his factory. I'm not really sure what the point of that was. I guess maybe he's worried about units getting stuck behind, which can be a little bit awkward. The second factory coming in, so it is going to be a very normal mech build. Where is the Armory? The Armory is definitely needed. He needs to build that pretty soon, but I guess he's not building it because he knows that there was no lair, and there shouldn't be a lair for a while, so... Are we going to see a lair down here? No, it's going to be a Hydra Den. So I think Shad called it. It is going to be a Hydra bust, which, I mean, that is not normal. But against mech, it's actually quite strong. When you're playing mech, you don't have that many units early on. You maybe have a couple of vultures. You could go into tank, but not many people will go straight into tanks. 2 factories are on the way. Engineering Bay coming up. Armory coming up as well. Perfect timing, given the fact he knows his opponent wasn't going for a lair. Now, for some reason, Faust didn't run through the middle. You can run through this gap with Zerglings, but Terra putting his Vulture to good use there, blocking that off. Now, the problem Terra is going to have is there's going to be absolutely no way he's going to be scouting this Hydra Den. So, essentially, the only time he'll know this Hydra is coming in is when they're at his base. Now, he does have a bunker. If you essentially repair the bunker with all your SCVs, it's likely not going to die. We saw that in the ASL multiple times over the last few seasons, especially when Flash and Last were playing. Flash versus Effort happened a couple of times where you just see Effort run in. It happened in Janong versus Last in the KSL finals as well, where the Hydras just run in, they can't kill the bunker, and then all the Hydras die. Now, Faust is going to try and clear out these units because he wants to be able to get those Hydras through across the map before anything gets spotted. But unfortunately, he's going to... Oh my god, is Terra's going to scout down here, isn't he? No? Oh my goodness. That would have been so insane if it had gone and checked the bottom left-hand corner. If Faust can hide the Hydralisk long enough to get all of the upgrades, he may trick Terra into not going into tanks early enough. And I mean, Terra's been building turrets, but he doesn't need them. There's no Muteless coming. But the issue that Faust has is, what does he actually have that can deal with... Wait, is he just going with Mass Ling and Mass Hydra? What on earth is this build? I guess the Lings will soak up the bunker. And look at this, the Vultures can't get back through. They're not going to be back here to defend. There's only going to be a couple of Goliaths. If Faust goes in right here, right now, he has a chance to break. There's not really that much to defend the bunker. It's not being repaired. The Lings get a surround. Could this be the biggest upset, ranking-wise, of STPL history? Looks like Terra does have a few units at the back. They do kill the front couple of Hydralisks. But with more Hydralisks coming in, they are starting to target down the Goliaths. This would be ridiculous, but the Vultures getting into the main. They are starting to kill some drones as well. This is definitely a problem. Faust pulled away. The Hydras at the front have gone down, and it looks like Terra may have been able to hold on to this. I mean, it looks like Faust is going to try and come back in again, but the Ling's getting blocked off by the SCVs. The Hydras can't get on top of the Goliaths, which is where they want to be. Range is finally finished for the Hydras at least. So they are going to be able to target some of the SCVs down. But Faust is down to 13 workers. Terra is up to 30. And basically it looks like this could be the final straw. Looks like Faust is going to try and rebuild his forces for one final push. There of course was a lot of units that went down. There's still no siege tanks. There's no bunker. So maybe he still has a chance, but he just doesn't have the units. He's not waiting for all of his reinforcements to come in either. And I think that's just too little too late now. I know I say too little too late a lot. But Terra's definitely held. It's going to be almost impossible for Faust to win from this situation. There's the repair going down on the Goliaths as well. There's just not enough workers to really pump off the 3 hatcheries. And as you can see, every single attack that comes in from Faust is being rebutted now. Because he can't afford it, he's actually adding on Lings as well. And honestly, Lings in this position are not going to help you whatsoever. You need the Hydralisk DPS, you need the Hydras. The SCVs are going to keep blocking for the Goliaths as long as they live. And yes, the Goliaths are going to go down, but the SCVs are actually enough to clear up the rest of these Hydras. And Faust, unfortunately, looks like he's going to lose this game. He should be saying GG very shortly, I would say. And there we go, GG is called. Faust, unfortunately, can't take down Terra. He got close, but the counterattack from the Vultures was just too much. And Terra, with the perfect defense back at home, does win game number 2. And the cool thing about winning game number 2 for Terra is it means the series is tied up 1-1. So essentially, we are heading in to a best of 3 now between these two teams. And that's pretty cool. One of the cool things, Avi, I don't know if you know this, but in terms of versus Terran, you actually have one of the best winning streaks. You're 3-0. I don't know if Avi's still here, but I just thought I'd point that out. That will be on the next screen when it comes up. But it's going to be a ZVT when we get back. Should be amazing. It's going to be arguably the best, well, he's definitely the best Terran on ReV. Arguably the best player as well. And it's going to be up against Dion Zerg. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. It'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kicks. But act fast. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number... What game is it? It's game number 2. No, game number 3, sorry, wow. I've only casted one series today and I'm already losing my mind. It's all good, but this should be an incredible game. Cannot wait to be able to bring this one for you. Pretty much 2 of the coolest players in the STPL. Of course, one of them is going to be Eon Zerg, one of them is going to be Medinho. Let's have a look at the map first, and we can gush over the players a little bit more. But Multiverse, fairly cool map. We've not had too many games on here overall. Terran are in favor against Zerg. Eon Zerg has lost twice here against Terran as well, so definitely not the best map for Eon Zerg. We are going to be seeing close by air positions, which we've seen a couple of times for Eon. Both times he did get taken down by early vultures, if I remember correctly, so Eon's going to have to be careful. As a matter of fact, did we see Eon here twice, or was Famassi his only game? Famassi might be the only game we saw him here, so that means... I mean, Famassi went for really quick vultures, he ran through what Eon thought was a wall, and he lost a ton of drones. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but let's have a look at the player histories, and we'll have a look at our players. So, no, we did see 2 TVZs from him on this. No, we saw 3 even. So Eon Zerg, rank 5 in the STPL, tied with Famassi. 7 wins, 4 losses over Terran, 79% win rate overall, which is just crazy. On this map, we've seen him play against Famassi where he lost. He beat Ziggy on this map. He beat Ziggy, the captain of Net Wars even. And he also played and lost to Forever on this map as well. Now, Forever and Famassi, both very strong Korean Terrans. And his opponent fighting for ReV is going to be Medinho from Norway. I got it right this time. It's not Denmark, it's Norway. I keep getting the 2 confused. He's got a really good quote as well. Form is temporary, class is permanent. But essentially, Medinho is a TVZ beast. He may actually have one of the best TVZs in the entire tournament. He's 7 for 1 against Zerg right now. Now, unfortunately for him, that's not a big winning streak because he did recently lose to a Zerg, not within his last 10 games, so I guess it's not that recent, but It's kind of crazy to think just how many games get played in the STPL and how many times these players play. Because in his last 10 games, he's played and beat 4 different Zerg players. So, kind of cool. Obviously, one of those was in March last year, so that was a long time ago. Medinho hasn't played too many games recently, but it's good to see him finally back in the STPL. He played against Vesco last week, but he had a little bit of a break after November last year. So, he's back. And he's doing well. I finally fixed this picture for him as well, so if he does see the VOD, hopefully he'll be happy about that. And he's even got his own little ReV shirt, so that's kind of cool. I don't think anyone else has got a ReV shirt, have they? Has anyone got that? But the Viking Terran against the coach. Who is going to win? Eon Zerg versus Medinho on Multiverse. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left position, it's the Black Zerg fighting for NaS. It's Eon Zerg, aka the coach. And his opponent spawning in close by air positions is going to be the Orange Terran fighting for ReV. It's the Viking Terran himself, it's Medinho. And hey Sham2, good to see you here, man. I take it you've either just finished work or you're at work and bored because the day's almost done. But good job everyone for making it through this week. Obviously it is Friday now, so you can all enjoy your weekends. Luckily enough for me, and also unfortunately enough for me, I was off work this week, which is wonderful. But then all of a sudden it's Friday and my week off has disappeared. So I'm back to work on Monday. All good things must come to an end, unfortunately. Maybe one day I can take tournament organizing and casting as a full-time job, but I think we're a long, long way away from that. That's my eventual goal if I can, but it's difficult. We're in a relatively small game with a relatively small community, so it could be quite difficult. Now we've got Medinho walling off. This is going to mean there's going to be no drone scouts coming in, but the Overlord of course is going to see everything anyway, because essentially close by air means you will always get to scout the Terran out. There's not going to be anything stopping you. Now Eon Zerg is going to go for a 9 pull into a gas, so he's not going to expand right away. Maybe thinking that Medinho would play a little bit more aggressive. It's kind of crazy that we've got both of these players who are super aggressive players up against each other. It's kind of like when we see Eon Zerg versus Bonneth in PvZ. Bonneth, at least for a time period. Oh my god, I love the engineering bay block. This is so annoying. I mean, it's not going to do too much because Lings are going to come out and they're going to kill it. He saves the SCV, but this is just annoying for Medinho. Now, obviously, close by air means that Mutalisks are going to be incredibly strong on this map. Drops could be very strong as well if he wants to go for Lurker drops, but Mutalisks are definitely the bread and butter of what Eon Zerg usually goes for. Likely going to see a 2-hatch Muta play out of Eon Zerg. He of course did see that there was a gas coming up, but the hatchery has been delayed a little bit, which does of course help out our Terran play here just a bit. Although it looks like Medinho may be playing... No, he's not going to play one base. It looks like he should be expanding. But the factory seems late. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, wow. Oh my goodness, I'm blind. There's a factory in the middle of the map. That is absolutely crazy. So good. What is Medinho doing? Going for really crazy builds. He is of course a 2v2 player. One of the best 2v2 players in the foreign scene along with players like Babo. And I mean, Medinho is just crazy. I said before that Radley is kind of the poster boy of Terran in the STPL. Medinho isn't far behind. Like, every game of Medinho is great. It's cool. I love seeing this guy play. It's brilliant. Now, one of the things, like, with his Viking Terran nickname, I know you may think that I somehow just make these up, but genuinely, the reason why he's the Viking Terran is because he builds dropships and he kills people. He essentially like loads up his longboats and just goes and destroys all the bases and stuff. I've got so many clips of Medinho just dropping people. Like he killed Bjol, the ASL qualified player. Oh my god. Eon Zerg has absolutely no defense against the Vulture. Oh no. Oh wow, he has a single Hydra. This Hydra is the most clutch unit in the entire game right now. There is going to be 4 Marines coming up as well, though. There is a Spire coming up in the natural, but another drone goes down. There's going to be no Sunken. Oh my god, he should be focusing the Spire. Why is he focusing the hatchery? Oh my goodness, these Hydras are going to go down immediately. The drones getting pulled up, they're going to die immediately to the Vultures. Medina with a perfect timing attack here. And this is definitely not the map for Eon Zerg. Every single time he's lost, he goes for like some like close by air position build. And then he gets screwed over by Vultures. And it looks like it's happening again. But no, the Lings popping out the hatchery really helping out a lot. A lot of the Vultures have in fact gone down, but the Hydras going down as well. The Spire about to finish, but it is going to get killed. Mad switched to that just in time. And with no Spire, there is no Mutalisks. Oh my god, the Spire's going to live. Wait, is the SCV... Oh, the SCV's not going to kill it. Looks like Mad's going to dive on it with his Vultures. He wants to get the kill. He's not going to be able to. He saves the Spire with 20 health. Now, Eon Zerg doesn't really have the economy to go into Mutalisks here, but just a single Muta would be very, very strong right now. Although, let's have a look back. There is actually an engineering base, so maybe the Mutalisk isn't going to be the best choice. That's actually really sick. Really nicely done by Medinho. A ton of damage done to Eon Zerg already. Eon down to 9 supply. Vulture coming in, trying to get the final hit. He gets the Spire. The Spire goes down. And with that goes Eon Zerg's hopes in this game, I believe. I mean, they were probably already gone already. But I can imagine this game has tilted Eon Zerg off of the planet at this moment. And that single proxy factory cost Eon Zerg so much. But yeah, Eon Zerg definitely would have been tilted after this game. He's a very emotional player. He is very good at his craft, but when he gets thrown off, he finds it very difficult to be able to recover. Now, can Eon drone up enough? I mean, of course, Medinho is only on 1 base still. He's got a second command center, but he can't really do anything with it. But there's a full bunker. This isn't going to work out. And T-Bell forever saying Eon must have been yelling at chat right now. Yeah, Eon's going all in. Essentially, it's all he can possibly afford to do. He's starting to drone up, but 2 additional Vultures coming out. Eon never scouted the proxy factory, and these Vultures are going to be the end of the game. Unfortunately, there's just no defense. Eon's going to pull back the few units he has. But realistically, does it matter? He's down to 12 drones again. Obviously, there's no Vulture upgrades or anything, and the Vultures get another drone in the main, get another 2 in the main. Back down to 9 drones. Oh, he gets another drone, so 8 drones now. And he is going to kill them, or he's going to clean up the Vultures. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. Looks like Eon did manage to kill one of the supply depots, so Eon could add on a ton of Hydralisks and go for a push. I mean, there is only a bunker and Marines. Wait, that's a good point. There's only bunker, or there's only a bunker and Marines there. Oh no! Eon is going to block this assimilator because he thinks the factory is somewhere on the other side of the map. He's going to block his own units out of his main. And then Vultures are going to run in again. Oh no, this is a massive misstep from Eon Zerg. He just does not know where this factory is. He's going to see it in a second though, and he is going to be kicking himself when he scouts it. Because he's just locked himself away. He sees the Vulture, he sees the factory, and he's locked his units so far away from his own base that now he's actually going to lose more drones again. Wow, what an anti-move by Eon Zerg. He was trying to block the Vultures out, and at the end of the day, he blocked himself in. But looks like he is going to be able to clean up the Vultures, so that is a little bit of a small victory here for Eon Zerg. But Mad is up to 30 SCVs. He's doubling the supply of his Zerg opponent. He's got an expansion. He's going into 2 bunkers. The factory's finally been lifted, but there should be a starport. No starport just yet. No additional tech, but there is an additional 2 barracks, so it is 3 racks. +1 attack should be done at this point. Nope, no +1 attack, and no stim or range. So, although Mad is in a massive advantage right now, Eon still has a chance in this game. If he can drone up super hard, this game could still go on for a very long time. And now Sneaky Lava's saying black color on a blue map. I can always change it to blue versus red, and we also get to see the buildings. So let's just update the colors. That's fine. I like black versus orange, but if you're struggling to see it in the minimap, then it's better. I mean, Eon is super far behind. There is still a comeback chance, but it's going to be very, very rare for him to be able to do it. Mad is definitely in a position where he can take the game. Eon hasn't blocked the 2 assimilators in the middle, so this bio is going to get through the main, or through the middle, and there's not enough Hydras to be able to deal with this. Does he have any units back at home? No, he doesn't. He's been building nothing but drones. He's up to 23 drones, and unfortunately, with the middle gases not coming up, with no Sunkens, Eon has absolutely no way of dealing with this bio. He's going to try and add some creep colonies on, but look how many Marines there are. Many Marine. Few Hydralisks, and GG. Eon Zerg taps out, and Medinho takes game number 3. Now that was a crazy game. Of course, Mad had that from the amount of damage he had. Eon did his best to try and come back, but he unfortunately forgot about the middle gases. He should have killed those first, and maybe he would have had enough time to be able to react to the bio coming through the map, but it wasn't to be done in this game, and Eon Zerg continues his losing streak against Terran on this map. It's been 3 very high-class Terrans, and he's lost to all 3 from early vultures, so kind of crazy. Dropships would have been very, very powerful as well, but of course the starport was nowhere near done. But let's get into game number... what game number are we going into? Game number 4 with ReV 2-1 up at the moment over NaS, and it's going to be coming up after this short break. See you guys soon. Toss a coin to your content creators, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your content creators, a friend of humanity. Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. Here we are on Multiverse, looking at the assimilators. You would have seen me bring up lots in various casts on both Troy and Multiverse, of course. Now, the way these work, and I've explained this before, but okay guys, welcome back. We're going to head into game number 4 between Ash. Why do I keep saying Ash? Ash was the last series, between ReV and NaS. It's been a really exciting series so far. We've had 3 really good games. Well, 2 and 1, a little bit more one-sided, but we will mention that. But let's have a look at our next map, and then we'll have a look at our next players. And the way it's looking, at least statistically, we could be heading to an ace match here because we have a very strong player coming up for NaS. And I mean, it's a strong player for ReV as well, but it's going to be a tough game. So let's have a look at the map first. Then we'll go into the players, of course. Whiteout, really fun 3-player map. It's on the ladder at the moment, so watch it, play it, play the map is what I meant to say. Don't ban it. And Shad, I can't believe you've been watching it for a while and not seen an ace match. I guess there's not really been an ace match in the last few weeks. Like the last 4 weeks or so, we've not really had many ace matches, which is kind of crazy. But either way, wow, it's a really fun map. Do not ban it on ladder, go play it. It's a lot of fun to play. ZVP is in favor of Zerg at the moment, not by much though. Although, when you look at the players, things definitely get a little bit out of hand. If we have a look at Dragon for NaS, he is their captain. He is a very strong player in ZVP. He's 12 wins, 2 losses against Protoss with his Zerg. His ZVP is great. He's rank 8 in the STPL overall. In his last few games, he got upset by Pro. That was one of the only losses he's taken against Zerg, and I think you'd have to look a little bit further back yet. The last Zerg he lost to other than that was Zealot, and I mean, Zealot is one of the best foreign player, or the best amateur players in Korea at the moment, so that's kind of crazy. But it's going to be Canada for Dragon, and he's going to be up against Latvia, the only Latvian player in the STPL, rank 49 for him. 53% win rate, 5 wins against Zerg, 3 losses. The last couple of games against Protoss, he lost to DeWalt but beat Yeti, which is quite impressive. He did lose to Krizago as well, but that was a little bit ago now. This is a really fun map, really fun matchup. Dragon versus CRVT, Latvia versus Canada, and NaS versus ReV. Let's get into game number 4. Okay, starting us off here in the 6 o'clock location, we do have the blue Protoss player fighting for NaS. It's their captain, it's Dragon. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right hand position. We do have the red Protoss player fighting for ReV. It's CRVT. Yeah, we'll do red versus blue again. Now, this is going to be a cool matchup, I think. Realistically, it could be a little bit more one-sided in favor of Dragon. Dragon is an incredibly good Zerg versus Protoss player, and also very good at Protoss versus Zerg as well, so kind of looking forward to seeing it regardless. PvZ has definitely become one of my favorite matchups from watching it. There's a lot of stuff that can happen early game, a lot of stuff that can happen in the middle. And TT1, Bison was very Gosu. Bison was one of the best players on SK Telecom T1 at the end, for anyone who doesn't know who he is. And he also became Rain. So, and of course you had Bye Baby as well, who became Tai in StarCraft 2. Now, I do wonder what build we're going to see Dragon go for here. He is going to go for an expansion, but it is after an overpull into a... Yeah, there's no gas coming up, so it is just an overpull. So we're going to see overpull into expansion. Dragon going to be able to take his hatchery without too much of a problem. But is he going to go for a closer third, or is he going to expand further away? Now, looks like he is going to go for the other natural with his expansion drone. Now, this usually means we're going to see more of a macro game, so we could have a little bit of a longer game here. Obviously, the closer to your opponent you build the third hatchery, the easier it is to go for mass hydralisks. But if you see the drone over here, it usually means the Zerg player is going to build their 4th or 5th hatchery up here, build a wall, and add a lot of sunkens, a lot of spores, and play the older style of PvZ. Yeah, and Yeti, people meme on Yeti, man, but Yeti in Season 1, he had one of the best runs ever. Like, Yeti was so strong in Season 1. He's done okay in Season 2, but Yeti won 13 games in a row. Like, even if that's against players who are either his level or below, he actually beat good players in that run as well. I remember it well. I remember calling out Yeti as some, like, really, like, a really good Protoss player. He didn't do too well in BSL, but as I've pointed out many times, and I will continue to point out many times, a team league is very different from an individual league. In an individual league, you're more than likely going to be playing a best of 3 or a best of 5. And in a best of 1, it's different. It all comes down to the preparation for that single match. It doesn't matter how good your macro is. If you don't prepare for the map well enough, if you don't prepare for your opponent well enough, you are not going to win the best of 1. And that's all it is. If you can win 13 best of 1s in a row over 13 weeks, that is unbelievably impressive. That's a better win rate than Scan. But just to go back to the other stats as well, I mean, looking at the all-time top streak versus Protoss, Dragon is number 1 with 12-0. He won against 12 Protoss players in a row with his EVP. That's absolutely crazy. Dragon is such a strong Zerg versus Protoss user. His PvZ is very strong as well. Now he has got a little bit of pressure coming in over here from a single Zealot, but that Zealot isn't going to hurt him too much. And may not even get a single drone. Although the drone is forced to run away, another couple of drones running away as well. There's no actual reinforcements coming in. Now there is another Zealot coming into the natural. This could do a little bit of extra damage. There's a couple of Lings here at least. But I mean, Dragon's Zealot micro is usually pretty good. Looks like he's a little bit distracted, so he does lose both the Zealots there, but he still pulled a few drones away from mining. He forced a couple of extra Lings, and CRVT sorry, it wasn't Dragon with the Zealots, was it? I keep forgetting. CRVT did a pretty good job with the Zealots. He's going into a Stargate, going into a Citadel. The Corsair will give him ultimate vision, at least for the first or the next couple of minutes, and he'll be able to go in for a good scout. Now, one thing I actually wanted to check was in the other stats. What are we looking at? So, against Zerg, obviously CRVT isn't here. DeWalt has the highest win streak against Zerg with 6, and that's currently ongoing. But the fact that Yeti is still all-time top streak in the STPL is incredibly impressive, and the only two people that can actually catch up with that are Scan and Tai2. They are the only people who have a high enough win streak, which is actually still ongoing. And Tai2's is 10-0, and that's actually 10-0 overall. He's not lost a single game in the STPL. Now Dragon's third base starting to come up, starting to get really powerful. Fourth hatchery, fifth hatchery on the way. There are going to be Hydralis upgrades. Dragon not got into an evolution chamber just yet, but we should see that coming up as part of the wall here, and he should start to add on +1 attack and go for a more macro orientated style. It's not going to be a Hydra bust, of course, we know that for sure, and by securing this other natural, he does gain access to a quicker fourth base and another main, which is definitely good. Now we've got another additional couple of gateways coming in. Templar Archives is done. Storm is on the way. He has stopped Corsair production at 2, but 2 Corsairs essentially means you can do a little bit of damage to Overlords. You can kind of tickle them for a little bit, but realistically you're not going to be doing a ton of damage. You're not going in for like 10 Overlord kills or anything like that. I mean, there is a rather sizable force of Hydralisk building up outside the front. That is going to force an additional couple of cannons, so he's going to go up to 3 cannons. But with Storm on the way, he should be fairly secure against this. Now, looks like Dragon doing a pretty good job making sure to keep a couple of Hydralisks back at home to defend his Overlords. One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of Zerg players make in CVP is going for a ton of Overlords just in the middle of nowhere. They all get sniped by Corsairs, and here we go, Dragon going to try and go in for a snipe. Looks like, oh no, the Templar isn't using Storm yet, but it's not being targeted. There we go, that's a big old Storm, and it does clear up a lot of the Hydralisks, but the cannons have gone down, and more Hydralisks are on the way. I didn't think this was going to be a bust, but Dragon sensed blood. He saw he had enough here. Now the second Storm wait, where the hell is the other? There's the other Storm. So looks like this High Templar going to be able to come in with another Storm very, very shortly. There was a hidden High Templar under the Corsair or something. I have no idea what that was. But the Hydra is continuing to push him forward. Looks like +1 attack is done. But another great Storm at the back here. The Hydra is certainly going to cause a lot of trouble here. There's no cannons, no units. And Corsairs, unfortunately, do not shoot down. And things are not looking great because we've got +1 attack on the Zealots. They have speed. I nearly said range. Zealot range would be a really broken upgrade. But there's just too many Hydralisks. The macro of Dragon is too strong. He's up in supply over his Protoss opponent, and there's no cannons. CRVT is going to fall back to the top of his ramp and see if he can hold on a little longer. But this is where we start warming up those G keys on the keyboard, because there is absolutely nothing CRVT can do here, and Dragon is going to be taking us into an ace match. This has been a fantastic series so far, and it's going to get even better. It's the first ace match we've had in a few weeks, and this is awesome. So looks like the Zealot's going to try and hold on the top of the ramp. The Nexus has gone down. The Forge is going to go down. It's unpowered. There's no upgrades going to be coming through here. But this is just too good from Dragon. Dragon knows very well the weak points of Protoss, and he has exploited them fantastically in this game. The Hydra micro, very, very good. Pulling back the Hydras at the front, making sure the Zealots can never properly engage. And it's going to be coming up to that point where I go to a break and ask you guys to guess who you think is going to be the ace player. GG, well played. I'm guessing that was meant to be a smiley face, and he missed the button. But this is definitely a close series, and it's an incredibly important series as well, as both of these teams are incredibly close to making it into the playoffs. So let's head it back to the camera for a second. I'm going to quickly go for a very short break to get a drink, and I will see you guys in just a few minutes for the ace match. Don't go anywhere.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on do-do-do. Skibidi-on-do-do-do. Skibidi-bidi-bidi-on-do-do-do. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. Okay, it's time for a quick tip. Here we have Neo Outlier. I'm going to show you how to get over these temples with a probe. I'll also do it with an SUV and a drone as well. So what you do is you essentially send the probe up to mine, you press stop, and you go to build a pylon. Now you build the pylon underneath you, so essentially it's going to push you, then you spam right click, and all of a sudden you are through. And here is the same trick with Terran. There's a couple of ways you can do this. One of them is you build a depot, and you essentially cancel building, and you just spam yourself through. You have to be kind of stuck or either on the building in the temple or there. But you can cancel that, and just to show, you can do it both ways as well. Okay, now there's a way you can do this with just 2 workers, which is the only way Zerg are able to do this. You can also do this with Protoss and Terran as well. So essentially, you get both workers lined up here. You mine with 1 worker, you send the second worker to mine just behind it, and you hit stop. It can be a little bit finicky, so don't worry if you don't get it first try. We got it. No we didn't. Yes we did. Okay, so that didn't go perfectly. You can do it a lot better than that, but it does take a little bit of practice. So just keep trying and you will eventually get it. And you'll find it actually has quite a lot of uses in various different maps.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
He's the map man! Skibidi on doo Skibidi on doo Skibidi on doo. Okay guys, I was a little bit longer than I thought I would be and it started looping again, but we are back and I was meant to go straight into the game and I forgot. So let's go into the game. It's game number 5. It's the ace match between ReV and NaS and it should be a good one. See you guys there. Okay, nobody guessed it right, but Seriosity is going to be the ace match player for NaS, starting us here on Neo Arkanoid in the top right hand position in the blue, fighting from Florida. And his opponent is going to be the one, the only, the Viking Terran, starting us off here in the top left hand position in the red. From Norway. Now they have amazing colors, but unfortunately, look at when we reveal the entire map. I've reported this to Blizzard. If you're on top versus bottom and you don't do shift tab, it doesn't show the buildings on the minimap. And obviously the buildings on the minimap are super important. Now, you say poor Seri, Abby, saying that NaS players are all scared of Arkanoid. Looking at the player history for Seriosity, he has played 4 games on Neo Arkanoid in this season. He's won 3 of them, and 2 of them are against really strong Terran players in Pinkbrush and TTF, so this could be a difficult matchup for Medinho. Seri, I think, is definitely the right choice to send out here, because he's got the most experience with the map. Yeah, this should be an amazing game. I'm very glad we've got these 2 players in the final ace match of the series. Radley saying, I had a pretty close game PBT versus Medinho and BWCL, so Seriosity on this map can be dangerous. I mean, if Radley can play Protoss and nearly beat Medinho, then Seriosity shouldn't have any problem. Is that what you're trying to say, Radley? Is that like a self-burn? Or have I just burnt you unintentionally? Thing is, like, if you guys don't know, Radley may be the Nuke King, but he's actually like a really good player in all 3 races, so way better than I could ever possibly be. Now, we've got a Cybernex core coming in from Seriosity. He's not going to go for a 12 nex or anything. He's going to build a Zealot, go and clear out the Chrysalis, which is super important because you need to do that to expansion. But you have the ability to expand as Terran, a little bit off center, and it doesn't matter too much. Last of Terran, we're weak. Wow, I've not seen you forever, man. We're like week 11 of STPL season 2. That's kind of crazy. If you're are you the last that was on Red last season, or am I thinking of a different last? But essentially, yeah, we've had STPL for a while, man. Now, this is pretty much Medinho's perfect map. Hopefully he's going to go for something crazy, like a lot of dropships coming in. That's kind of cool. I do remember you. And the funny thing is, Last, you left, and I don't think anyone's been able to contact you or anything, because I think Red were looking for you to play again. And I guess you just... Oh, so you've retired from Brood War now. And 2 other people joined the league called Last, so... There we go. Okay, so we've got a Nexus coming in from Seriosity. Both players going to look to expand. It's good to see you again, Last of Terran. It's sad that you've retired from Brood War. Your games are really entertaining in Season 1. But hopefully, whatever you're doing now is working out for you. Are you in the military or something at the moment, or have you just sort of gone to a normal job and stuff? Sneaky Lava saying that Last of Terran joined the army. Or the Armu. Okay, Medinho are going to be scouting with his barracks. Everything is fairly normal here so far. We've got double factory coming in. Once again, very standard. Academy, Armory should be coming up as well. Yeah, there we go. And he is going to be going to... sorry, what was it? He's going to be going into Goliath probably from here, just to make sure that he doesn't get killed by any dropships, any Reavers or anything like that. But we're not going to see Seriosity do that. He's going in to a observatory. He's going to play the super standard, go for a very quick 3rd base as well. And things are fine. So Stargate coming in from Seriosity. The last 2 times we saw him play against Terran here, he did go for carriers, and he played very well. In the last game where he played against, who was it he played against? He got a really big upset, TTF. When he played against TTF, essentially... He went carriers, got up to 8 of them, but didn't have the interceptor upgrade. So, I mean, TTF may be a little bit old school. He may not be the most powerful Terran player at the moment. But he's a really strong Terran player. And Seriosity, while he is a top player, well, he's not really a top player, but apparently Last of Terran said he finished his army service 7 years ago. So I guess he's just like doing a normal job now. Maybe playing League or something like that. I don't know, but it's good to see you again, man. It's been a while. Now, we've got Medinho scouting around with a barracks and an engineering bay. He's continuing to add on buildings to try and protect against possible Reaver drops, but little as you know, that's not coming. Tater Salad, unfortunately, exclamation mark STPL isn't a command, but if you're looking for something, hopefully I can help you. In terms of gateway count, we've only got 2 gateways. We're going into a fleet beacon, so it is going to be carriers again, unless Seriosity wants to be really cool and go for Scout Zealots. That would be amazing, but I don't think we're going to see that here. And I think Medina might be able to deal with Scout Zealots a little bit better than I can. I beat Mass Scouts though, I just can't beat Scout Zealots. Oh, Tater Salad, it might be a good idea to do that. Essentially, the STPL is the Shinhan Tank Pro League. It is a global team league. It's the biggest global team league in the StarCraft Remastered scene at the moment. There's 16 teams. Wait, is there 16 teams? No, there's 14 teams. You can also check the Liquipedia page on Team Liquid for some more info, but essentially we're a massive team league. Players from all over the world, and there's also links below the stream. And Proletariat Green, the reason why it's called the Shinhan Tank Pro League is the old Pro League. The major one that everyone remembers was the Shinhan Bank Pro League, and I essentially wanted to make a parody of that initially when I first made the tournament in 2015. The 2015 version was a little bit different from the one we see now. In 2015, Radley actually played in it as Boxer. Essentially, people played anonymously under the username of their favorite player. So Radley played as Boxer. It was 2015. Tai2 played as No Touch. Go Rush was Widow Killer. And essentially, it was a fun tournament, but it was impossible to organize. People couldn't contact each other. They wouldn't sign up to the Reddit that I made. I made a subreddit for it and everything. So I essentially died. I gave up hosting tournaments for a while. Came back in 2017, and since then I've been hosting tournaments pretty consistently. And here we are. So. Well, Shinhan isn't even a word, so technically it doesn't really matter if I use it. They've not trademarked the name Shinhan, I don't think, from what I can tell. So essentially I just call it STPL now anyway. It's not really the Shinhan Tank Pro League anymore. That was more a Season 1 thing. It's just the STPL, it rolls off the tongue, it's a lot easier to say, and definitely makes things easier. Yeah, since 2015, things have grown a lot. Shad, I started StarCraft in 2008. I didn't really play too much, but Avilov coached me in the first ever Coach-Pupil League. I was watching StarCraft 1 from 2007. I got kind of more into it in 2008 with the... No, sorry, I started watching in 2008, started playing in 2009. The first ever games I saw was the Stork vs. Fantasy Grand Finals of the Incro OSL, and essentially that kind of ruined me for life, because I became a massive fantasy fan, and that was it. Yeah. Since then I've been bad at Brood War. I don't play it as much anymore, but yeah. I started casting in 2015 because I wanted to try and test myself a bit, because like it's easy to tell in real life, and I know I should talk about the game a bit more. We've got Medina pushing forward in Seriosity's base, which is kind of crazy, but Seriosity does have carriers already, so she'll be able to hold on to this. I have pretty bad social anxiety, and one of my big things I wanted to try and force myself to do was get in front of a camera. Because there are very few photos of me when I was younger, because I can't stand my photo being taken. And I decided to try and start casting. And basically, I've ended up becoming like one of the main foreign casters somehow. Because there's not many of us anymore. There's only Zero, me, Doc Holiday, and Sham 2 essentially. And Naokan as well, but he's more of a player than a caster. And yeah, here we are. I've somehow managed to get it to the point where I can sit in front of... I have once had 1,000 viewers when I was casting Zotac, which is kind of cool. I wouldn't say I'm famous. I'm definitely not famous. If I was famous, I'd make enough money to quit my main job, but I'm an IT support technician, which also forces me to deal with people as well. So I'm getting there. Slowly getting better at dealing with people. We did manage to beat $1,000 in prizes, Mullahay. We're now up to 1,300. The last prize pool was 1,500, but 1,300 is so good. And there could be something in the pipeline for Season 3 to improve on that even more, which I'm super excited about. And unfortunately, Avi, I'm not big in Japan. That would be the... well, technically I am tall, so I would be big in Japan if we're taking it literally, but... oh yeah, Proletariat saying famous means more people know you than you know people. That's a fair point. Yeah, we've got Seriosity starting to build up his carrier count. The good thing is he's actually remembered the Interceptor upgrade this time. So that is definitely a massive benefit. And we've got a drop going down into the 4th base of Seriosity down here in the bottom right. Unfortunately, Seri isn't able to take a base for free like he was planning to. Medino a little bit too far on top of that while he kept the carriers busy at the top of the map. He moves in at the bottom with a dropship. His longboat moves in again. And that's exactly what we want to see. The Viking longboats from the Viking Terran constantly dropping over and over again. Now the carriers coming into the natural certainly going to be causing a problem for Medino, but the problem, the issue is, if the carriers go over there, the units from Medino are going to slowly catch up. Now poking Terran's third in this position is actually very useful because he has got this cliff which he needs to scan to kill the carriers on, and it's also a stone's throw away from his own third base, so he is able to hold on. Looks like the vultures have finally been cleaned up in the bottom right hand corner, but not before the gateways have been unpowered, so no units are going to come in. Looks like we are going to have a big engagement. The carriers losing a lot of their interceptors here to good D-matrices on those Goliaths. The tanks are able to clean up a lot of the Dragoons, and it looks like Medino may have a little bit too much here. The tank line, very strong. And Sneaky Lava did redeem an AMA saying, why did you come to Japan? Unfortunately, I've not been to Japan just yet. I haven't been able to afford it, and I was a carer for 9 years as well. So being a carer for 9 years certainly didn't help my social anxiety. I was looking after my mum. My mum sadly passed away last year, so in about 4 years ago I moved into like the workforce, moved along with her somewhere else. She moved into like assisted living and stuff like that, but this is definitely a good map for Medino. Looks like he's dropped again down in the bottom right, causing massive problems, but Seriosity moving into the natural of Medino again. Medino moving into the natural of Seriosity. Both players could very well lose their natural expansion here. Seri, though, doesn't have that many carriers. He's only got 5 of them. He's still trying to rebuild his, what do you call them? The interceptors, so this is definitely a problem. But we've got a lot of Dragoons here. They're not going to be able to do too much against this D-Matrix tank. A lot of Goliaths up here are going to cause a lot of problems for Medino as well. Medino has a 4th base. He's mining off-center with gas, so he's going to be mining with like 5 guys on gas. But the natural going down, and the main could be next here for Seriosity. And if that happens, it's 100% game over. But here we go. I mean, there's another couple of carriers coming in. The tanks getting on top of the gateways. There's more Goliaths, more dropships, more longboats have gone down to the bottom right-hand side. And this just could be too much. Seriosity is in such an awful position now. He does have a lot of carriers. If he can get the 2 groups together, maybe with 7 carriers, maybe with perfect micro, he can hold on. But how much is he going to lose in the process? The rover's going to go down. There'll be no more observers. And with no more observers, if an arbiter somehow... no, that wouldn't actually matter. He's not going to be able to see the mines. So I was thinking the other way around. Yeah, we've got the carriers moving in once again. They are going to be able to clear out some of these tanks, but a lot of the probes going to go down. Medino is double the supply in workers, double almost the supply in units as well. And carriers are good units. They're a useful skill to have, but unfortunately, carriers on their own can only get you so long when they're take you so far even when there is a million Goliaths, a million tanks, and 1,000,000 of everything Terran in every single one of your bases, especially the main. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for the lovely messages, by the way. I have read them. It makes me feel, like, better. It is nice. It really does mean a lot. But the tank's going to clear out the Stargates as well. The carriers, I mean, they're still alive. He does have up to 8 of them now. That is pretty much the magic number you want to go for. But losing his main, he's only got 1 mining base, essentially. His base down in the bottom right, he's barely got any probes to. He can't transfer any probes down there either. And it's only a stone's throw away for Medinho, who is now starting to push his way through the middle of the map. The tanks at the top are actually going to go down, so it does look like Seriosity's managed to micro down most of the Goliaths, but oh my goodness, the last missile hitting a damaged carrier at the front. Definitely not what Seriosity needs at the moment as well. And Radley pointing out as well that that vessel threw like 4 D matrices before it got sniped, which is ridiculous. But essentially, Seriosity has done his best to try and hold on here, but he's so unbelievably supply blocked. Medinho is super far ahead. And Medinho even going to just open up the pathway to get his SCVs down. He's got 1,000,000 SCVs idle at the moment, just because his bases are starting to mine out. But with the fact he's going to have 2 additional bases down at the bottom left, yes, there is a shuttle coming in. But I hate to tell Seriosity this. A single Dragoon, a single Zealot is not going to be able to kill all these units that are apparently going to leave everything for now. Oh my god, the carriers, is he going to lose a carrier to a turret? No, he doesn't. Okay, so that was lucky. Does he have any attack upgrades, actually? I can't click one. Yeah, he has +2 on the carriers, which isn't too bad. He is going to be able to do a ton of damage. I mean, he has done well to be able to deal with all of this, but he's getting to a point where he can't resupply his interceptors, essentially, because, well, maybe he can. He's got 1k, but he needs more expansions. He needs more probes. Also, hi Dave. Dave's one of my friends in real life, saying that I know Kicks and he admitted while drunk that he's switching to Mixer and becoming a regular Fortnite streamer. Oh my god, that'd be funny if I did that. Oh my god, seriously loses another 2 carriers, and this is definitely not looking good. There's just too many Goliaths, too many tanks. There is 3-2 upgrades on this mech now. Medinho has the ability to expand to the top again, and look at this, the carrier's getting sniped, another one goes down, another one goes down, and GG, Seriosity taps out. Medinho takes game number 5 in the ace match and wins the series for ReV. So just to point out how important that series is, what a ridiculous win. ReV in Season 1, I'm going to be honest, had absolutely no chance of ever beating NaS, but they've come against one of NaS's strongest rosters, and they've won, and that involved sending out the lowest ranked player in the STPL as well in Faust. So very well done for ReV. Of course, commiserations to NaS for losing that series, but great games, wonderful games played by Medinho as well, winning 2 games for his team. Gonna close out the series 3-2. Let's have a look at the results. And Dave, I did brush my hair. It's unfortunate my hair is just messy. Abby took down Sugo in game number 1. Terra took down Faust in game number 2. Medinho took down Eon Zerg in game number 3. Dragon took down CRVT in game number 4, and finally, in the ace match, Medinho took down Seriosity, and he won the series for them, so very well done. I'm going to quickly reload the overlay, and we'll show how that's affected the standings in Season 2. Now, that did in fact add everything this time, which is good. Proletariat Green saying my wait, I've clicked on completely the wrong thing. Proletariat saying my hair is wild. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a look at the team rankings, see how that affects things. Obviously, it's just the beginning of week number 11, but Clan ReV move up above Net Wars. Unfortunately, their game difference is not enough to take them over NaS, but they are tied with NaS now at 5 wins, 6 losses. NaS drop from 6th place to 8th. And depending on how the next set of series go on Monday and Wednesday, NaS could find themselves out of the top 8, which is ridiculous. But yeah, NaS did lose. We've already seen Ash versus Nice. That was the first game. But essentially, really well played by all 4 of our teams today. Unfortunately, Nice did get messed up by a walkover. But well done to Ash and Clan Revolution. Thank you once again for the support, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch. Have a very good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are, and have a very good weekend. See you on Monday.